Nothing. When you hear that trumpet, you know it's the Resistance Hour with Dr. Larry Fedewa, whom I am one of the co-hosts, and Tom Donaldson, who is the other. And tonight we have a special guest who is a good friend of the network, and particularly the principals here tonight, especially Tom. And her name is Coco. And Coco, welcome to the Resistance Hour, and you're a good person to talk about resistance.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been too long.
Yeah. Well, it's been a while. So, I mean, we got to get caught up here. It's now that we've gone video.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So it's been kind of an interest. Trust me, it's been an interesting experience. But so now everybody gets to see our faces as opposed to just to our voices.
Hear our voices. Yes.
Yes. It's so totally different. But well, we got a couple of things.
Some of us aren't too happy about that, Coco.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh?
Some of us aren't too happy about that.
Oh, apologies.
Yeah. No, yeah. Well, here's the thing. First of all, number one, we're going to do the house cleaning here for people. Last week, as I stated, the good Dr. Larry broke his ankle, and he is now in rehab. He is at a library at the rehab center. So why don't you come very briefly tell the audience here on the Resistance Hour, what's going on, what's happening, and what's the prospect of recovery, and when do you and Teresa get to go home? Or I should say, when do you get to go home to Teresa?
Yeah. Well, I fell about 10 days ago, and I broke my ankle in 3 places. Luckily, I had no further damage, and the break itself is starting to heal the way it should. I've been in rehab now for about 10 days, about 10 days. And I'm finding out that I'm not in as good a shape as I thought I was. But anyway, my first appointment with the orthopedist went well, because they're not going to operate. And if I can get along 2 more weeks with it healing the way it's supposed to, I won't get an operation. So I should be home. I should be up and around next month or so.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So that's the latest news on Dr. Larry.
Yeah.
And we brought Coco on the line because this is going to be more of a non-political show per se.
Yeah. It's funny. Sorry to interrupt, but it's funny. You're in a rehab facility. I'm in a treatment center for anxiety. So
really?
Funny, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't trade places with you.
I love it.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I've learned so much. I've only been in it. I'm outpatient. I do it through home, my house. It's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. It's long hours with in between breaks or whatever. But I've learned so much about myself and what I go through mentally. It's been such a positive change, actually, that I feel so. I honestly, I think anybody who feels anxiety or stress needs to go to a treatment center for a couple weeks, and it literally kind of changes your life, honestly.
Yeah. Well, before we get it, I want to kind of I know Coco may know these stats, but I want to kind of throw this out. First of all, I'm going to separate this high-level mental health statistics. 1 out of every 5 Americans have a mental illness. 1 in 25 live with serious mental illness. 50% of chronic mental illness begins before the age of 14, and 75% start by the age of 24. And there's 10 million people with one addiction or mental health disorder. So this gives you kind of a stat that this is, one of those issues that, I mean, like I say, I should tell you people for years and years, Coco was the co-host of the Donaldson Files, and then she's moved on with her life. With, I guess for a while you were in marketing
Mm-hmm.
and starting a new business, and basically, and so it's been a while. We've been trying to get her on the. I've been trying to get her on the air and trying to get within her time schedule.
I know.
Because
I
she's
know.
I think we should tell the audience that she's been one of the stars of the network for a
Shut
long
up.
period of time.
yeah, sure.
And another footnote is that in all the years that you two have worked together, you've never been in the same room together. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's totally correct.
That's correct,
Absolutely correct. Yeah.
And here comes me, the late guy to the party, and Coco and I have spent a whole afternoon together.
We did. Yeah. I was in DC at the time, and I was visiting DC, and yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
I got to meet the whole
you went to the
family.
horse farm.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't get her out there.
No,
You didn't get to the horse farm?
No, I did not. No, I did
Oh,
not.
okay.
Down in Old Town Alexandria.
Yeah, Old Town. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, the next time DC, you got to go to the horse farm. It's, I mean, it's a very nice farm. Nice.
Next vacation I'm going to in hopefully this summer, I'm going to Cabo for a week. So.
Well, that's not too bad.
No.
Chicago?
No, Cabo, Mexico.
Cabo. Oh, yeah.
Cabo.
You want to go to Chicago, you might get shot.
No, I don't want to go to Chicago. I'm good.
Yeah. No, that's so, yes.
What are you sucking on there?
It's a VAP, right?
It's a VAP. It's a vape. No, I'm down. I used to smoke 24 milligrams of nicotine when I first started, which is like a lot. I'm down to like basically 1 milligram now. It's like the only thing that keeps me like centered, really.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's kind of start. I mean, like I said, I gave the stats here.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to kind of introduce it, but I know you've gone through. You're like I said, you're right now being treated on an outpatient basis.
Yeah.
And so, kind of talk first of all, what what is it now, and what are you now dealing with? Because I know, what has been diagnosed.
Well, diagnoses are very tricky, as I've learned. I was originally thought to have BPD. I still believe I have it, but what my diagnosis is very severe ADHD that's been untreated for a number of years.
What is that?
Attention deficit disorder.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I've had that all my life. I was diagnosed at 6 years old with it. And I was like medicated throughout my teens. And then I got off it. And it kind of was like a spiral since then. So I'm now going to be treated for it again, medication wise. I also have borderline personality disorder, which is it's a mood disorder, basically. It's lots of therapies involved in that, as well as I have panic disorder, and I'm in recovery from eating disorder. So I have a lot going on with me mentally, and I decided to do this program because, I was in a state of like, I can't function at all. Like I couldn't do anything. It was interfering with my work. Like, it was just like, if you've ever had like a severe anxiety attack, it's like the worst thing anybody can go through. It feels like you're having a heart attack and you can't breathe. And it was to the point where I had to be like heavily medicated for my anxiety attacks. It was really bad. It was like, and it's like a bunch of different triggers. You don't know what your triggers are when you have them. And for me, I didn't understand what was going on. But happened 6 weeks ago. I was working out. I was working out, and my heart started racing. Like I started getting heart palpitations, and this was like on a regular. This wasn't like a once a week thing. This was like a twice a day thing that I would have these attacks, and it just got to the point where it was like I couldn't breathe. I was like, it feels like a heart attack basically, and like I was having those twice a day, and then finally I was like, I can't live like this. This is insane. I can't function. So I checked myself into this outpatient program here in Los Angeles, and it's Monday through Friday type thing. You're in therapy. You're doing 101. You're so much different therapy for about 6 hours a day.
Well, Coco, can you take a little breather here? We have to take a break. You're listening to the Batchelor News Radio Network.
Since Buffalo Wild Wings is always open late, here are a few things you'll enjoy. Buzzer beaters, wings in 21 signature sauces and seasonings, and great deals on food and beer. Grab select domestic draft beer starting at $4. $4 shareables like street tacos, fried pickles, chili queso dip, mozzarella sticks, and roasted garlic mushrooms, and deals on select liquor and house cocktails. Phew, that's a mouthful. Catch all of the late night action. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Offers and participation vary. Please drink responsibly. Void where prohibited.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Resistance Hour with Dr. Larry and myself. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, my new book, America at the Abyss, Where America Survived. You can get that book right now at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, LibertyHillPublishingPress.com. And also go by your local bookstore if you like to do the bookstore thing. And if they don't have it, order two. One for yourself, one for a friend. Here on the Batchelor News, and don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can listen to this show 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. every day on the thebatchelornews.airtime.pro. And don't forget, we're now on Substack, along with George Landreth and Dr. Larry and myself. We talk about everything and anything, and we even have a sports page. And so on the frontier,
Tom and I go out and play tennis every once in a while.
Yeah. So, and Dr. Larry has published the initial article, Puppet Master, and I came in with the second article, the 21st Century Heavyweights. So, Substack, it's Tom Donaldson, FOFF.substack.com. So, and like I said, you might as well take advantage, because eventually some of these articles we're going to actually charge you money to read because they're so damn good. So you better take advantage of all the free stuff you can get right now. All right.
So I think we're now back to the survival of Coco.
That's right. Back to the survival of Coco.
Yes, thank you. I like I said, I'm learning a lot about myself. It's therapy I never thought I'd needed, but I clearly do. I'm in a group with like some really amazing people that I've created a bond with. Like I said, this is like a 8 to 12 week program, so it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I mean, I'm up at like 8. I have to be on by 9, and it breaks in between, and I'm done by like 5:30. Sometimes I'm done by 7:30. It all depends. But it's been really helpful. So anyone who's like, "Oh, therapy is such bullshit," like it's literally saved my life. So yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question. I mean, when you say you've learned about yourself, what would you say? What are some of the things you think you've learned more about, yourself now that maybe you didn't know before?
When it comes to triggers, like what triggers me into like having an episode or anxiety, learning about my relationship with food, with myself. One thing, we talk about is, how some people say 1 day at a time. Well, we say like 1 minute at a time, because it's crucial that we live in the moment and not in the past. That's something that I've learned.
Coco, all of these manifestations you've had of irregularity, isn't that there must be some basic factor that's manifesting itself in different ways.
I don't know what you mean by that. Like
low self-esteem or
yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, a lot of it is trauma that I've had to deal with. Like, I don't know, for example, my eating disorder. I've had an eating disorder since I was 10 years old. I was bulimic for like 25 years. So obviously that creates like a lot of low self-esteem issues.
but what causes that?
What, an eating disorder?
No, yeah.
A lot of things do. I mean, it was just sort of a developed thing that I learned as a kid, and I just did it. And, you know, you do something for 20 something years, and all of a sudden they're telling you, like, you know, someone's telling you, like, oh, that's not a normal thing to do, and that it's deadly. And so then you basically have to learn how to stop doing that. And there's a lot of triggers when it comes to that. Like certain foods like will trigger me, and it's like certain thoughts. It's a really hard thing. You know, you're in recovery for life. It's not like, oh, I stopped, I'm totally fine now. Like, no, like there are times where I've relapsed for sure. It's just knowing that you're not alone in this. I think that's the whole point of going to these groups and this therapy, is knowing that, you know, you're not the only one that suffered.
What about your family?
You know, they're supportive of me. You know,
did they have anything to do with your bulimia?
Yeah. But it's not something I really want to talk about right now.
You don't have to. You don't have
to. Yeah. But yeah, it's something that developed in childhood. And it was just like kind of normal for me. And now that I'm like in this program, in this place, it's like I don't feel hopeless. I want to say I don't feel like, you know, my world is ending, because like honestly, like being in this group with these other people, like you realize your life isn't as bad as someone else's, and I think you learn to appreciate that.
I have that feeling every time I walk into I get wheeled into the gym here. You know, I think, my gosh, I thought I had it bad. Look at her.
100%. That is exactly how I feel, because I listen to other people's stories and I'm thinking, like my what I think is my trauma isn't that extreme compared to some other people, because like they have it for like years and years, and you know, now they're realizing like at age 60 or 50 that they need help with it. It's like, well, I'm still in my 30s, you know. So it's just really like kind of humbling knowing that, like, you know, I'm not as messed up as I thought I was.
Well, it's kind of reassuring too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, that's how I feel about it, for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, you're a brave girl to go through all that.
Oh, thank you. I don't consider myself brave. Honestly, like the first, I mean, I just finished, like, this is like week and a half. I've been there for about a week and a half now. And it was like, at first, like I felt so weak. I was like, oh my God, like I'm so weak for wanting help. And then I just realized, like, no, there are people who like die without getting help, you know, because they were afraid.
They didn't get help.
Yeah.
A lot of times because they didn't get help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So are you an outpatient now? Do you live at home?
Oh yeah. I'm outpatient. It's a program they do. It's all through Zoom, actually. And it's through their affiliate site. So it's like, it feels like going to college, honestly, because it's like I have like all these different classes I have to do. You know, I'm on a schedule. So
where do you take those?
Through my house, through Zoom.
At your house? Oh, through Zoom.
Yeah. A lot of treatment programs are going Zoom wise now.
Huh.
So it's kind of good, because it's like, well, I'm in the comfort of my own home. Like I don't have to feel like out of place. But it's like I think like each class is about 2 hours, and I have about like 5 classes.
Okay, what kind of classes do you take? I mean, when you say classes, how does...
Yeah. So there's one that deals with a food relationship, like eating disorder. There's one for anxiety. A lot of them.
Are they interactive?
Yeah.
So somebody live is on the other end?
Yeah, just like we're doing right now. That's like how it is.
Okay.
The other ones I take are for my Adhd and ADHD one. I take a writing wellness writing course. The classes switch like weekly, so it's like different types. Like you could take like an art one, or you could take like a journaling class, which I'm doing right now.
Who sets that up?
My I don't want to call him a caseworker. I don't know what he is. He's my head counselor.
Therapist?
Yeah. So, and there's a lot of 101. There's the therapy that I'm taking. It's called DBT, which is called dialectic behavioral therapy. It's more of a groundworking, like how do I describe it? It's like it's more of an intense version of regular therapy. It's like a lot of has to do with like writing down stuff and being in the moment and
self-knowledge.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's helped a lot.
It's good to document that.
Yeah.
Because then you go back and you look at it and you say, oh my gosh, really?
Well, yeah, that's the whole point. A lot of it's like that. It's like you're like when you're feeling a certain way, whether it's depressiveness, sadness, whatever you're feeling in that moment, you write down. And then, when you're kind of in a calmer state of mind, you go and look back and think like, oh, why was I feeling that way? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So a lot of it's also like they call groundwork, which is basically distracting yourself from a certain situation. Like if you're feeling like a full-blown panic attack, try to just like keep your mind off it by doing something else, like going for a walk or whatever you can think of. So it's a lot of like of workbooks that I do. I swear it's like being like in college sort of, because you're just doing all this homework and it's just like enough.
So, but the how much time do you spend any time one-on-one with your therapist, or is it?
Yeah, about say like 2 hours a day.
2 hours a day?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's an intensive program. It's not. It's for people that have severe anxiety and depression. It's like I said, I'm doing my program. It's like from 9:30 I log in. I do like 3 hours of 2 hours of like workbooks or whatever, and then up till 6:30 or 7 I'm in group. It's intense. It's not for like
So the one-on-one is via Zoom.
Mm-hmm. All of it's through Zoom, except for the workbooks. Like the workbooks are actually through their online portal.
Even the group is also by Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to look at the rest of them in the eye face to face.
I mean, we kind of do because we're on camera when we're on it, so we're looking at each other. But we can take ourselves off camera if we want.
Do you like this better than you would like it if it was in person?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because some of the people there, I'm like, I don't think I would ever be near this person.
You don't want to be in the same room.
I'm sorry, and I can't say anything about it. But like, the only thing I will say is like, there's some people in there that I'm like, sorry, you don't live where I live. That's all I gotta say. Because I'm like, okay, that's what I say. It makes me feel like I'm less. Like I'm not as bad because like there's some people with issues that I'm like, dude, you don't need outpatient, you need like inpatient, because I'm just like, I don't know how, like if I had what they had in life, like I don't know how I would function.
Now, did you do any inpatient to begin?
No, the reason I just wasn't comfortable with doing inpatient, and even though this would basically be the same hours as someone who's inpatient, the only difference is that like I would live there and they would actually have a little more classes, not as much. but this fit well with my schedule. So like I get like one day off the week. So I get like Tuesdays off. So I don't have to do this on Tuesdays. So it's like a nice breather versus inpatient. I would be doing this 7 days a week and I could not handle 7 days a week.
Yeah.
That's intense. It's really, I mean, I know obviously you guys know I've been to a treatment program or anything, but it's really intense.
Now, how long have you been in the program?
I've been like only a week.
A week? Okay.
A week and a half. Yeah.
Oh my God. Hmm.
A week and a half, and I'm already like, oh my God, so much information. And that's the thing. It's like you're kind of, I guess, always learning. And
Yeah, but you're very bright.
oh, thank you.
You have that. That's one of your advantages. That you're smart enough to see it and understand and remember it.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's like you think you know so much, and then it's like, why do you act a certain way? Like what triggers you this way to think this way? And then you're learning. Like I've learned more in this past week and a half than I have like in 10 years of therapy about myself. Because it's
and the other therapy was one-on-one in their office.
Yeah. Well, actually, my therapist, because I see a therapist weekly as well, and that's all through Zoom. I don't, it's just easier for me, especially like working from home. Like I can just do this, so I find it way easier.
When they do treatment, let's kind of talk about, because obviously you got ADHD and anxiety, so. Combination. So I guess the question, how do they treat both of those simultaneously?
A lot of it's medication. I mean,
knowledge too.
Yeah, as I Adderall. I'm on that. Well, I'm going to be on that in a couple days. Anxiety wise, they prescribed me something wonderful. I love it to death because I think if I didn't have it, I don't know what would happen with my anxiety. They prescribed me Adhd, and it's been a lifesaver. Like Tom, you know Adhd. You know. It's been a lifesaver for me because a lot of times, like you think anxiety medications and you think drowsiness and walking zombie and like, oh, if I take this, it's gonna knock me out. And with Adhd, I am like, I don't get tired. I just function. It's weird.
Well, let me ask you a question, because I mean, it'd be interesting to kind of follow up with you on this, because if you're dealing with and Adderall, which is basically kind of a stimulant.
It is a stimulant, yes.
Yeah, and then you got Adderall, so
it counteracts. So it's like you have a stimulant, but then the stimulant can also cause anxiety as well. So they give you something to calm that anxiety. So then it's like a match made in heaven. It's like the perfect combination. It's it's like I can function but I don't get the anxiety because of the Adhd. And the Adhd is just like, it doesn't make you drowsy. Like it's instant effective. It's like, it probably takes 3 minutes for it to kick in, 3 to 5 minutes. It's like super fast. And then that way it's like, well, I don't have anxiety for the rest of the day. So I'm like, I'm good. I love it.
Self-administered?
Huh? Oh yeah. It's such a low dosage. It's like, I mean, Tom, you're gonna laugh at this. It's like 0.5. Yeah. It's not even a 5. It's like a 0.5 milligram. It's such a low dosage.
Well, I mean, the thing is, they're going to start you out.
But that low dosage like doesn't make me feel like a zombie. So
yeah, I mean that's what they're trying to do, is find the right dosing.
Yeah.
So that you don't act like a zombie, and if they need to move you up a little bit, they can do it gradually, as opposed to
right.
You
so
could be in a zombie
when did you start? When did you start this whole process here recently?
Let's see. I want to say it was like the 20th.
Of April?
April, yeah. It's very recent.
And before that, what?
Yeah. Before nothing. I wasn't doing anything before.
Now, let me ask you a question. When did you start having the anxiety attacks? How long did you have it when you went through all of this?
Well, obviously, a lot of it has to do with my dog and how he's really sick right now. And like, I don't know how long I'm going to have him. And they just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And the worst was about like 6 or 7 weeks ago. I started having them like continuously. Like, I mean, it was really scary for me because I've had anxiety attacks before, but I've never had them like twice in one day, every day for like 7 days a week.
Wow.
And it feels like if you talk to people and like how my experience, it feels like a heart attack. You really feel like you're going to drop dead. That's what it feels like.
Did you get help?
Yeah, that's when I started reaching out. They put me. That's when they put me on Adhd, and it worked. It started working, but I still felt like I still had like I started getting a little paranoid. Like I wouldn't leave my house because of my dog, and I thought like, that's when I started seeking a therapist about a couple weeks ago, and I was becoming agoraphobic. So I was really terrified to leave my house in case something happened to him. Like I couldn't even walk outside by myself for 10 minutes. I mean, I was like living in total fear. It was really scary because I'm not like that. I'm not that person. Like I'm fine to go outside. Like, I love going out. And then it was like the fact that I literally couldn't even step outside my door without feeling a panic attack coming on. It was the scariest thing I've went through in life, honestly.
Yeah.
Is the boyfriend still around?
Yeah, we're celebrating 3 years together in June. So,
and that's what you're going to Cabo for, right?
What does he think? What does he think about all this?
Oh, he's so supportive, of course, like he was just like, yeah, if you need treatment, you need treatment, and you should, sorry, that was literally my boyfriend who just texted. He told me Elon Musk blocked him. It's like, okay. But he's been super supportive, he's like, whatever, treatment you need to do it, so he's like the best support system I've had ever. So I'm really happy with him and thankful for him and all that.
That's important.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine not having a partner who supports you, because I just be like, well, what's the point of having a relationship if the other person doesn't believe in you, vice versa.
But some people, when a storm hits, they take off.
Not him.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
He deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah, absolutely. No, totally. He's awesome. Like whatever I need, he's there.
Well, I think we're at break here. We're a minute over. You're listening to the Resistance Hour on the Batchelor News Radio Network.
Required listening with Amazon Music.
Dad music again?
The greatest guitarist of all time.
Wait, who?
Alexa, add this song to a new playlist.
Sure, what's the new playlist name?
Jack's Intro to Classic Rock.
Adding Stepping Stone by Jimi Hendrix to Jack's Intro to Classic Rock playlist.
Amazon Music, the simplest way to listen to the music you and soon he will love. New customers start your 30-day free trial at amazonmusic.com. Renews automatically, cancel anytime.
Welcome back to the Resistance Hour. Tom Donaldson and Dr. Larry Fedewa. And don't forget, this is the portion is also brought to you by America at the Abyss, Where America Survives. My latest book just came out, and you can buy it at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and LibertyHillPublishingPress.com, which is associated with Salem Media. And we welcome, and you can listen to the show every day on thebatchelornews.airtime.pro, 1 p.m., 7 p.m. every day. And now we're back to the Resistance Hour. Dr. Larry.
And Coco, Tom is talking about a different abyss than you've been through.
God, I hope so.
So, yeah. All right. So I guess, so, obviously, your boyfriend's been supportive.
Yeah.
What about your dog?
He's sick. He's a heart murmur. He has heart disease. He's only 9. They gave him like a year, basically. And yesterday was like kind of a triggering day for me because he woke up with like a horrible congestion and it's kennel cough. So I've been treating that, but it's just like, this goes back to last September, where I almost had to put him down, and I wasn't like, it was just a shock because it was just all of a sudden he was vomiting, all this stuff. Basically, all this stuff happened. He was in the hospital for like 6 days. $25,000 later, I still don't know what's wrong with him. And it was like a lot of money to like, make sure he was okay. And basically, he's going to die of heart failure at some point. And just preparing.
Is that what triggered this whole thing?
I definitely think so, because it was like knowing that he's going to be gone soon, and I've had him for 9 years, and he's like my baby, and it's like, it was very traumatic, like I cry a lot talking about it. So, but yeah, it was, it's just really nothing you can do. Like no amount of money can save him, basically, type thing. His breed is known to have heart murmurs. He has a leaky heart valve, is what it is, as well as like heavy duty arthritis. So he's on CBD. I give him CBD ointment, and that helps with his arthritis completely. And so now I gave him cough drops, and his cough is better. It's not as severe. But it's because there's such a change in weather where I'm at. Like, I mean, it was going from like 45 degrees to 95 in a span of a day. So the weather definitely had something to do with it. But yeah, I think that's one of the main things. Like,
I was going to say, I mean, I'm just at, I'm still waiting to get to 50.
Good luck.
Yeah. So, but, all right. Now, I guess, how long do you do the outpatient therapy? Is it as needed, as long as you need it, or is there like a timeline?
No, man, I would die if it was as needed. I don't even know. I don't know how people do this for 12 weeks. I'm doing this for, it's an 8 week course, basically, call it a course, I guess.
Yeah.
And then there's like, obviously they provide you with aftercare for like, if you need meetings, whatever, they'll help you with that. But it's an intensive, it's like I said, it's about, I would say it's about 7 hours of therapy a day.
All right. Let me ask you a question. Are there any kind of like option therapy, let's say your significant others, kind of getting him involved in the process? Or
I mean, there could be, yeah. I mean, a lot of it's called family support. They have it like on weekends, I guess. But I talk to my partner every day, and we discuss like what happened in group and all that. So it's not like it's needed. I think it's for more people who
working all the time.
Yeah. I think that's what mainly it's for. But it's an intense program. It's not, it's for people who really want to get help, not just like a weekend thing. It's like, you have to make your classes, and not like they like basically let you go. Like you have to put in like, I have to log in. It's like going to school. You have to log in all your hours and all that stuff. It's like you're logging in like 4 hours of work that you completed. It's intense. It's not like, like I said, it's not for, it's for people that like really want it, basically.
Well, if they don't, they're not going to succeed anyway.
No, that's very true. You're going to have to want to do the work. And it's like, like I want to be better. I want to be at a place where it's not like I'm happy or anything, but I want to be in a place where I'm content with my life. You know what I mean? Like I want,
to be safe.
Yeah, I want to be in a place where I'm content, and like I just want to have a good life, basically, is what the whole.
You can do it. You can do it, honey.
Thank you.
You really can.
Thank you.
I mean, going through what you're going through right now, there isn't one person in 5,000 that would do that.
Yeah.
And you've got a lot of guts and a lot of a lot of perseverance to do it, and if you stick with it and you believe in it and you believe in yourself, you're going to make it.
Yeah.
You're going to make it.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah.
So, all right, I guess we'll get a couple more questions and then we're going to move on, because I know
Sure.
I do want to get into your TV habits, because it seems like on Twitter you got so many different shows that you're following, and I have to know all about them because I'm going to live vicariously for you. That's basically, I'm watching sports program. It's like NBA playoffs, baseball.
You better be watching Winning Time.
Winning Time.
HBO about the Lakers and
no,
I'm not a sports fan really. That show has captivated me. It stars John C. Reilly as Jerry Buss.
Oh, okay.
And it is amazing.
It's all about, let's say, the Magic Johnson era.
But it also details about like the coaches that were supposed to coach the Lakers, but one of them couldn't because his partner got killed by the mob. So it happened. It happened. I don't remember the coach's name, but he was going to sign with the Lakers to coach for them, and then his business partner was found in the trunk in Las Vegas with the name card of Jerry Buss in his mouth, and it was basically a mob hit, and that was the reason why he did not want to coach. He didn't coach the Lakers, and they went to someone else.
He went somewhere else.
He continued to coach for Las Vegas's team for like the next 20, 30 years.
Oh.
Well, what about Jerry West? Because I know Jerry West is now talking about suing.
I mean, like they said, it's a fictionalization of the show. I mean, they basically have him painted out as a really depressive guy who doesn't really seems like he doesn't really care about the Lakers, but then he does, and it's but what I love about the show is it's set in this 1979 80s, and it's filmed that way. It's filmed like you're watching something from the 80s, and that's what I love about it. I love it. It's 11 part series. I'm on episode 5, I think. And honestly, at first I was like, ugh, fine, I'm going to watch it because Steve wants to watch it. But then I became obsessed with it because it's so good. The cast is amazing. I mean, you can't go wrong with John C. Reilly.
No, you can't. For some reason, I can never imagine him being Jerry Buss.
He does. So if you look at him and his character and you look at a picture of Jerry Buss from 1979, they're twins.
Yeah.
They're twins.
So now, what else have you been watching? I mean, what's a?
I've been.
How many reality shows? It seems like there's something like, what's a 90 Day Fiancé?
Yes, I love that show. I love it because it's such a train wreck. I like shows that are train wreck and makes me feel good about my life. That's one of them. I've really been into British TV recently. I got BritBox, which is
Heartland. Heartland?
No.
You ever watch that?
No.
Oh, you got to watch it about horses.
Oh, okay.
They feel about horses the way you feel about your dog.
Oh. Yeah, no, I've been watching a lot of Perot. So I like Perot.
Did you ever see the movie the Kenneth Branagh version?
I just finished that. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. No, because I saw the original, Murder on the Orient Express, and we saw the Death on the Nile Boys. That really good.
Oh, it was wasn't it great?
It was great, yeah. I did not recognize Russell Brand.
Nobody did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. I was like, well, I like, if you're talking about not recognizing, I just saw the new Batman, and Colin Farrell plays the Penguin.
Oh.
And I was like, I mean, he has a whole prosthetic going on, but I was just like, that's Colin Farrell. It's so weird.
Yeah. No, I just, like I said, I'm looking at it again, and I said, he sounds familiar, looks familiar, but for anybody who's ever, followed Russell Brand in his career, he's got, the real long hair, kind of funny comedian. And I thought he did a pretty good job in that.
He's a great actor. He's British.
Yeah, I never realized what a great actor he was.
I've never heard of a bad British actor.
That's true. I mean, well, the thing is, it's like watching a international football game. I've always thought soccer should it's only at its best when you have a British announcing the game.
You don't like Italians?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, it's just like I said, no. You can do the accent. You can do it.
Yeah, because I had a British accent growing up, so
yeah.
But yeah, no, I love that. I've been trying to find Murder of the Orient Express. I want to watch that, but Kenneth Branagh is like really good.
I thought he did a great job of directing and all that, putting that together.
Yeah,
and
you find out why he has that mustache.
Yeah,
and all
you find
that.
out. Yeah, so
it's a great. I like it. I thought it was a great series.
Yeah. I think we're here on another break. We'll be right back. This is Tom Donaldson, Dr. Larry here on the Batchelor News Radio Network on the Resistance Hour. As we talk movies, we talk mental health, and we'll continue that discussion going into the last stretch run.
Since Buffalo Wild Wings is always open late, here are a few things you'll enjoy. Buzzer beaters, wings in 21 signature sauces and seasonings, and great deals on food and beer. Grab select domestic draft beer starting at $4. $4 shareables like street tacos, fried pickles, chili queso dip, mozzarella sticks, and roasted garlic mushrooms, and deals on select liquor and house cocktails. Phew, that's a mouthful. Catch all of the late night action. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Offers and participation vary. Please drink responsibly. Void where prohibited.
Ladies and gentlemen, back to the Donaldson. Back to the Resistance Hour.
You got to get that right.
I got to get that right. Yeah, no, it's like this is 2 hour. Yeah, we just like I said, we did the Donaldson Files earlier tonight, and now we're on the Resistance Hour here on the Batchelor News Radio Network. You listen to the Resistance Hour 1 and 7 p.m. every day at the thebatchelornews.airtime.pro, and don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can start reading Substack, Frontier, Tom Donaldson, Frontier Freedom, and we'll be providing articles from everything from culture, sports, and of course, politics and the latest research out there by George Landreth, myself, and of course, Dr. Larry. And we have Coco Konski, who's been a long time has been in
How
Hollywood.
many years?
Yeah.
How many years have we known each other?
It's 2017 is when we started doing the show. Okay. And we did about a whole year before that on the internet, on Twitter or whatever.
So like 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
God,
okay.
Yeah, 7 years.
A long ass time.
That is.
Well, Coco, if you really get bored sometime, you might look at a piece that I have on YouTube. It's called How to Be Loved.
Oh, okay.
And there is a very animated gal from Costa Rica. I think she's from Costa Rica, who is the interviewer. And it gets quite comical at times, but it also shows that I did have some therapeutic background.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm learning. You talk about that. It's a good point you make. I'm all about learning about self-love, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm in the process of learning.
Well, you look on YouTube under, I think it's under Dr.
Hold on a second. Let me. Yeah. Well, here's what I found it under. Let me see. How to Be Loved. Dr. Larry Fedewa.
Right. That's it.
Yeah. So you can just, put in How to Be Loved, Dr. Fedewa, and you will see Dr. Larry and who's the host of that show?
She was, I don't remember her name, but boy, she's entertaining.
Yeah. Like I said, I just caught the first 20 seconds while you guys were talking and was like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to listen to the whole show.
Yeah.
So How to Be Loved on YouTube with Dr. Larry Fedewa. So is there anything else, Dr. Larry, that you have never put that on your resume?
I've got a whole bunch of those. I also have well, the Stations of the Cross, I guess wouldn't be too much of interest. But that's a narrative poem that I recorded. And Oh Holy Night, it's one of my the only vocal that I ever actually put on YouTube. And then if you look on my website, you can see a bunch of Coco. You might be interested in some of my poems.
Yeah.
If you look at drlarryonline.com, and then you go to the section of poetry, and you'll see a small, what would have been a small book of my poems. There are two sections: poems of the living and poems of the dead.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. I don't know. I think you might be one of the more appreciative people that you have such a cerebral view of things.
Right. So. I smelled something burning and I realized, I was like, oh, wait, no, my boyfriend's making a vegan dessert for me. So I was like, caught me off guard. I was like, is my house on fire?
Don't panic.
I was like,
okay, Tom.
Yeah. Well, okay. So you got the. What else have you been watching? Let me put this. What else have you been doing? I know you were involved in several projects before this came on. So what were you working on?
I was just working on work, to be honest. Doing that. Now it's like I have to work on something else, and it's like, I'm taking kind of a hiatus from work until I finish this.
Sure. You won't worry about that.
Yeah. Give me one quick second because I have to turn off the oven because I think no one's home.
Oh, okay.
I want to make sure my house doesn't explode yet.
All right, we'll be here. All right, so tell me about how did you get this video, How to Be Loved? Where did that come from? I
used to do a lot of radio interviews, radio and video both, and before that's how LA found me, and I was writing a weekly column, and I had so many of those interviews that I actually end up I couldn't do anything else, so I finally had to sort of cut them out. But in the meantime, I started the Dr. Larry show with LA. But I was a regular on LA's program for about a year before that.
Yeah.
But I did a lot of. If you really want to get my probably the best interview I ever did. It's called Governance. Dr. Larry, and it's also on YouTube, and it's called Governance. It's with a sort of unusual young lady that is very bright and very broad gauged, and she asked me about all kinds of stuff. In fact, Coco, there's quite a bit of stuff in there about. She asked me one question about what's the biggest. What do I think is the biggest obstacle to human success? And I started off by saying, well, my doctorate was social psychology, so I'm going to have to do this in two parts. It's the social part and the psychology part. But it does talk about, even in that one segment, does sort of talk about how the two fit together. But she gets into religion and history of human beings, and it's very, very far-reaching. It takes an hour.
Right.
So I don't know. You probably neither one of you have enough time to look into that. But
Well, I'm going
I'll
to make.
see if
I'll
I
make
do.
it.
I'll see if I do. Yeah, I'm.
Yeah.
It's sorry about that leaving. I
That's
thought my
okay.
house was burning.
All right. So how's the vegan dessert doing?
It's actually it looks amazing. It's basically like oatmeal, like it's like, you know how you make oatmeal, but this is with chocolate and oat milk as well as maple, and it's almost like a brownie. It's like an oatmeal chocolate brownie. It's really good. So
okay.
I do a lot of vegan foods now because I don't eat dairy at all.
Yeah.
So I've learned to adapt to it, and I've made some really good, awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So
how is your asthma?
Oh, it's good. It was weather change. You know, it's like health wise, physically, I'm great. I took up boxing. I do boxing about an hour a day, 5 days a week.
Now, do you have a gym? Do you do that, or do you do that at home?
I have like a boxing set at home. So I have
she beats up her boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I have like, you know, the punching bag and
you got a punching bag?
Yeah.
That's cool. I got like 3 downstairs in my basement. So
oh yeah. And I actually like, you know, the Oculus, the Oculus. So I downloaded this workout program. It's like, I think I paid like $15 a month for it, and it's like virtual boxing as well. And it's awesome. It'll literally make you like sweat like crazy. Yeah. It's kickboxing, cardio, all that in one.
Well, like I say, well, boxing, like I say, that's a great exercise. And
it's a great stress relief.
Yeah. So I mean, I was in the martial arts today. I used to be in pretty. I used to do some pretty heavy training doing that. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
So now, what are your goals and objectives? Once you get through this process, what do you plan to do? Is there anything you plan to do, or you just, that you would like to do to work on project wise?
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. I'm actually going to be going back to school because I'm studying to be a nutrition coach. So that is nutrition. Yeah. It's something that is my goal towards to do something like that, where it's like, being a nutrition coach or a health coach, something along those lines. Mostly because I like to help people, and I want to have a job to me personally that has meaning. And
I found a new piece of God's work here in this rehab facility.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, these occupational and physical therapists, I mean, they really are working with people that really, really need it, and
it's amazing.
Many cases have no place else to go. It's just I couldn't do it. It's just too much sadness. But they see the beautiful beauty of it, and the cheerful, and they're. I mean, I have a lot of respect for these people.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to do something, work wise, where you're happy, and you want to make a difference. For me, it's like I want to make a difference with someone, like that needs it, and so that I would say is what I'm working towards as a goal.
Have you ever thought of becoming a therapist?
Too much schooling, couldn't do it.
What is your academic background?
I was in college for a couple of years, dropped out, never finished. But
so you don't have a bachelor's degree?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh, well, that would take more time than you want to give it.
Yeah, pretty much. I found this what I want to do is I definitely want to do nutrition of some sort or fitness or some sort. That's something that I'm gearing towards.
Well, God bless you, honey.
Thank you.
Well, listen, it's good to have you on the show. It's good to see you again. We got about 10 seconds left. Yeah. So if you want do you want to tell anybody about your Twitter site? Because it's so entertaining.
Sure. Yes, it's very entertaining. Yeah, you guys can follow me. What is my Twitter? I have to like log on to it. It's Coco, COCO Burbank, because that's where I'm at. I basically just like shit post. I just post really crazy memes, and I post about the reality shows that I'm watching. So
Yeah.
if you have any interest in that, sure, go ahead.
Yeah. All right, I'll tell you what, Larry, why don't you say goodnight, and then we'll end this show.
Well, we want to say thank everybody for listening, and if you have any good thoughts, please let us know. As Tom has been instructing us throughout the session, and we want to give our profound thanks to Coco for sharing all of this with us.
Thank you.
We hope that it helps other people.
Yeah.
And so we are saying our usual saying is that we need to God bless America, because we really, really need it.